More books back from CGC. I think these are mostly vintage books, if not all. So that would be Bronze Age, maybe older. So let's go ahead and take a look. So let's go ahead and save this one for last. This beautiful book in here. Let's go ahead and dive into this box first. And yeah, we got one of these giant bubble bags. I don't know what to call these things. I really like them. The incidence of damage went down for a long time after starting that, but you know what? Lately, need to be getting a lot of damage again. So I'm just going to pull at random here. Yeah, we got a Silver Age book coming up. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 34, 9.0. Huge grade on this book. Very, very, very hard to find 9.0 plus on any of the Silver Age Spider-Man books. So we will be very happy with that. Got off-white to white pages, which is very good on a Silver Age book. Pretty common to see off-white to white or worse. Actually, it's very hard to find white pages from that era. So the owner will be happy to get his 9.0 book on that one. Oh yeah, this guy loves custom labels, and I know a lot of people do. I'm not a big custom label person, although on the correct book, sometimes I like to put one on there. Don't have any currently, I don't believe, on my wall, except unless you include the McFarlane, scroll label or whatever. But that's just your signature edition, so I guess maybe that doesn't count. So let's get another book out of here. Looks like another Craven book. Oh, okay. Amazing Spider-Man 49. Now, I've already looked at the grades on these. 3 days later or whenever they come to me, I often just don't remember until I see the book again. So, Amazing Spider-Man 49, another difficult to find 9.0. And yeah, again, off-white to white pages and that beautiful custom label. All right. So let's see if there's any more Spider-Mans, but there's not. So let's just move on to Silver Surfer. And we got one of these square-bound books, Silver Surfer number 4. And we got an 8.0. Now I believe I had 2 or 3 Silver Surfers. And they were high, mid-grade, low, high grade. I don't know what you would call that. They had very limiting defects on them. See creases and things of that nature. That was a really deep crease right there on the corner. And I flattened it as much as I could. You can still see how it looks a little more bent over than when I sent it in, but, whatever. There's a lot of rough handling that goes on at CGC, so it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, square bounds, when they get encapsulated for some reason, they often seem to get some kind of weird edge or corner damage to them. Something in the encapsulation process, I don't know what that is. But you guys have probably seen a lot of giant-sized X-Men that have that weird fold right here on the edge, which is totally unacceptable, but, we've just learned to live with it, apparently, because that's what we're stuck with in grading companies. And you know what? You say, switch grading companies, right? Sometimes it's not any better to go with another company. I've tried them all, and they all have their issues. I'm not going to go into that negativity right now, though, any more than I have, but just been kind of fed up with some of the things I'm seeing lately. Just seems like they're pushing books through with a lot less quality control now, and that's really unfortunate for us and the books. Okay, so we got a Green Lantern now. I thought I had Silver Surfer, but I didn't. Okay. Let me do that first. We'll go back to the Green Lanterns. Let's do the Silver Surfer number 3. We're kind of going backwards here. Absolutely gorgeous cover. One of my favorites from this series. Just look at the depth of the colors on that book. It's just amazing. So yeah, we've got a 7.5. These are all in about the range we expected. No surprises here. If not a little bit higher than we expected. So definitely going to be happy with that grade. And skip the other one down here. And now we're down to skip number 2. We're going to go straight to number 1. It's a mid-grade copy, Silver Surfer number 1. And classic book, classic story. Some people argue it's the greatest story ever in comics. Not going to argue with anybody on that. It's a 6.0 copy, but we did get the white pages, which is really, really, really cool on this book. It's going to make this a premium mid-grade book because of that white page designation. And this is a really gorgeous copy. It just has this giant crease right across here. You can see it. And that's really what makes the grade 6.0. Without that crease, I mean, it's all of an 8.5. So it presents very, very well. So once again, the owner is going to be happy to have that beautiful 6.0 copy. And this owner, if I remember correctly, was more about just improving the presentation of these books rather than getting the bumps. Although I do think we got bumps on those books. All right, we got a Green Lantern number 15. Book from 1962. And to find an 8.0 from 1962 is a pretty big deal. There's not that many of them out there. So we'll be happy to get that one. Off-white to white pages. And for the people that watch my channel that always say, I don't do enough DC, well, I'm trying to find more DC to work on. So, you know, this is obviously not my book, but yeah, DC. Here we go. All right. And before we get to the last one, let's do one more Green Lantern. About the same range grade here. We got a 7.5 on Green Lantern number 40 from 1965. And a little bit newer book. I mean, these are basically equal in defects. So, I mean, you're just splitting hairs to go 7.5 to 8.0. From the same collection, probably, I believe. Same owner, so most likely, good chance it's the same collection. This one has a little crease here. And I believe another one about the same size right there. So, you know, it probably limited it to a 7.0, but the book is probably so nice. Otherwise, they just went ahead and gave it that 7.5 upgrade. Because it does present, I mean, if you just glance at it, that's a 9.4, right? So, oh yeah, we got the crease in the crease. Let's go down to 7.5. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so the last book. This one is one of those that once again makes you fall out of your chair if you're not expecting what you're going to see. And this was originally, I believe, a 9.6, although it could have been a 9.4. Correct me if I'm wrong, owner. But yeah, so I think the goal here was just to improve the presentation, make the book look as good as possible. And then I think we were re-encapsulating an old label. I could be thinking of another book, but I'm pretty sure that's this one. So very, 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 very remote chance of 9.8. I mean, we're talking like next to none is what I thought. But we got it. Ghost Rider number 1. We got the 9.8 white pages. And I haven't worked on this book a whole lot, so I don't know how lenient they are on this book. So yeah, we got this on the back though, Distribution Inc. And I couldn't remember what the name of that was there for a second, but yeah, we got that now. I don't think that it is enough to limit the grade to below 9.8 because, you know, it's pretty common for this era. It's not on the front. And, you know, it's not hideous. It's on the back of the book anyway. So I don't think that should limit the grade. Let me know what you think in the comments if you disagree. But absolutely gorgeous, beautiful copy of Ghost Rider number 1. So we will end with a bang on that one. And the owner knows, extremely, extremely thrilled because, you know, that goes from a $2,000 to something like a $5,000 or $6,000 book by going from 9.6 to 9.8. So very, very, very cool. So thanks for watching. Stay nerdy. I'll see you in the next video.